Okay, that's YouTube. Just waiting for Twitch as always. Right, so there's a new version, Project Zomboid, and my save is currently updating to it. So, Twitch has caught up. Right, so hello and welcome to the Savvy Gadgetz channel with me, Ian, otherwise known as Ven, and this live stream for Project Zomboid. Now, this playthrough is 4 months or 3 months after an initial playthrough with a character, and my current character that's started has survived for a few months. It's now Christmas, it's almost New Year's Eve, or if it is New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Joe, hello, have you had a good weekend, chap? Oh, good week, sorry. The weekend hasn't finished yet. But yeah, so we had a successful run last week. We managed to go and get some bits and pieces that we needed. Let's take a look at the project. Oh, you're breaking in as well, are you, Bella? There comes Bella, ruining my green screen. Yes, you, monkey. Right, so this is map.project.zomboid.com. And so our initial playthrough, we were playing around Rosewood. That's alright, that's fine. You know, it is what it is. If you've got to take your mum out to the restaurant, you've got to take your mum out to a restaurant. It's a thing. You've got to look after your family, mate. So, I made a base out of the fire station and was able to pillage the high street. And it's a very low populated zombie area, makes it an easy start. And I'm playing builder mode, which is slightly easier anyway. But being bitten doesn't get you instantly killed, basically. And then we moved over here, had quite a collection of cars, and the character was surviving quite well without really stretching themselves, to be honest. And so we restarted with a new character, and we started over in what was originally the hardest place to start, which is West Point. So we started over at West Point, and lo and behold, my character only lasted one session, so I had to create another one. And that character is still going strong, and despite the fact that a couple of weeks ago we had a problem with our car. Our beloved van broke down, left us stranded around here, and escaping the van was a very, very, very close run thing. The character got bitten several times and nearly bled out, and there was like only a sliver of health left when I started bandaging them up, but I managed to sort of walk around this area, get back to this building here, and sort of stayed there for a night, and then I found my current car just over here, which was really nice, very useful. And thankfully I had petrol, and it was in good condition, and the key was in the glove compartment. So that's the current car that I've got. So last week we went out and we did some other runs. We went out this way. We went out towards the Pony Rama, if I can find that. This area here. So we tweaked around this area here, and we found pretty much everything that we wanted and needed, which was one of those spray cans for making pesticides. Now, to make like the pesticides, you need cigarettes, and I've got plenty of that, and you just need some water. And so we can treat the pests on some of our plants. And that's where we got to. We drove back, and that was the end of last week's stream. So we're here. So we've moved out of West Point. We're making a base of this house here. Got some veg on the go. We've got plenty of water. We've got options water-wise. But for my character, it is in fact the 31st. It's New Year's Eve. So it's been quite an adventure, it has to be said. But yeah, you may be able to hear that my voice isn't 100%. I am actually suffering from flies. Damn flies. Suffering from the lurg, which my daughters have lovingly brought into our house. So I've got a cold. I'm a bit snotty and coffee. Not feeling 100%. Let's face it. The character's hungry and thirsty, so we're going to eat the tortilla chips. Let's eat those. The taco shell's rotten, so we will put the rotten taco shell over here in this thing with the rotten granola bar, and hopefully that'll just rot down. Now this morning it's been quite interesting. I've been gardening with the wife, and so I've actually had 2 showers today. I'm doing really well. Slept in. Oh, now, look, you can see that the mouse trap has sprung, so if we check the trap, and we should have, in here, we should have a dead rat, which we can then butcher. Yeah, cheers, Joe. It's bad a sore throat. I've been feeling pretty rotten, stinking headache, runny nose, the whole works. But even that, I think, even so, I think it's on its way out, to be fair. Oh, that rabbit's gone rotten, so we'll get rid of that. Now, I think we might have to cook that other rabbit. That can go in there. Hopefully we'll get some worms out of that and we'll be able to catch more birds anyway. Let's grab that meat. This that says it's small bird meat uncooked, and we'll actually cook something, actually prepare something before we hit the hay. Characters thirsty, so we have water plumbed in, even though that the water ran out months ago for the playthrough. What you can do is if you build, I'll actually show this because I always do. So if you can, I don't know if you can see this in the dark, but I've got on the top here, I've got some rain catcher barrels, and they're just above that sink. They're also like around the 8 squares. If you put one a rain catcher barrel on a level above and around the sink, then you can use a pipe wrench, and it has to be a pipe wrench. It can't be anything else. It's a red-handled wrench called specifically a pipe wrench, and excuse me, and it's very much a case of using that, plumbing it in. You right-click on the sink with that in your hands, and then all is well. Where has my roast pan gone? Oh, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. Baking trays. No. Must be that one then. Roasting pan, there we go. So we'll create a roast with the uncooked small bird meat. I think what we might as well do is just if I put the thing in there and just use all of that before it goes rotten. So, and then what we can do is we can add salt and pepper. And pepper as a spice. And we will add salt as a spice. And then what we'll do is we'll actually cook that tomorrow. Ah, Super Toe Man, hello. Hope you've had a good week. So putting it back in the cool box will help it keep cool and help sustain it for a while, a little bit longer. Meanwhile, my character is dead tired. I'm going to shut the door and then hit the hay. Alright, okay, that sounds interesting. Nice, Joe. Very nice. So cosplay then, Supertone. That's something you've not mentioned before. Not that I remember anyway. So let's cook this roast. Yeah, so I think the stream's going to last until about 2:30 when I collapse, because I am absolutely wasted. The drugs don't seem to be touching this at all. I ain't getting a lot of sleep, so anyway, this week, don't forget, I am snackless, and I'm just on Coke Zero. It's one of my favourite Cokes. I like normal Coke, but it's all part of a diet that I'm not on. That'll help keep my throat lubricated for this week. No snacks. I don't really that hungry, to be honest. So this week we'll be treating the car. We're treating our farm with the pesticide that I'm going to make. Yeah, thanks, Joe. I'm on the mend, I think. I'm feeling better. I mean, we were gardening this morning, and that's helped sort of like sweat it out a bit, because it's not exactly cold here in the UK at the moment. It's about 20 degrees, and I'm just sitting here sweating. There's no air in this room, and I don't want to open the window at the moment. Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard that's all good for you. I've been taking some ibuprofen, but the packs of ibuprofen that are around 200 milligrams just do not touch my headaches and my colds. I have to get the ones that are around 344, and then actually they sort of pick up, but we don't shop at those shops anymore, so or infrequently, which is a shame, because it's like other than that, because paracetamol never seems to do anything as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't seem to help me feel better in any way, shape or form. I don't know why. I'm going to eat half of the roast now. Cooking and that sort of thing will help the happiness of your character a lot, by basically providing them. It's a cheerful meal, it's a hearty meal, and so if you're just eating raw food or anything like that, then it will have an adverse effect. If you eat something that makes your character miserable or unhappy, it will tell you before you eat it. Whether it's going to make you the food that I've created will give us a -18 hunger, -2 boredom, -2 unhappiness. So cooking, as I've always said, is your path to happiness, even if it's just a case of heating up something simple, or if you have a bowl and a knife in your inventory, and you have things like mushrooms and berries, which you can get from foraging, and we'll demonstrate foraging, then you can create yourself a simple salad, and that also cheers your character up. Yes, gargling salt's always useful as well. Okay, I'm all things sometimes. So this week I've actually been playing some Warzone as well. They changed the playlist out so that I was playing Shoot House 24/7, and I managed to almost unlock the Striker 45. And to unlock that particular weapon, you have to be sliding whilst eliminating a player. So you have to be actually sliding forward or sliding in a direction and shooting the other players. And I got to 14 out of 15 on that. You have to do it twice in a match to achieve that. And then the playlist swapped out, and I ended up having to play the mosh pit, and I managed to do that in the first session of that. So I'm quite pleased that I managed to unlock that weapon. Not particularly easy, I don't think. Because I had to build up the MP5 to get it anyway. But I've also been playing Subnautica. I absolutely love Subnautica. I love diving games like that, because I used to be a scuba diver myself. I've done a fair bit of it. It's not something I do much of anymore, mostly because I'm a family man. I'll try not to do anything too dangerous. Alright, so let's get rid of the food in the cupboards. Stash food in the cupboards. Sounds like a good idea. Leather jacket can go upstairs. The premium value technologies that can go up there as well. What camera? Oh, no, I need the can opener. Alright, that kind of stuff can go in. I'll just dump it in this corner. Wire. The empty bucket. I will need the cigarettes in a minute, so we'll just dump that. Oh, the jacket there as well. So just dump the lot. Yes, it was cheap this week. I know there was just under 30 quid, but it was Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero. So that's why I bought it. And I've played Subnautica before quite a bit, but I do really love it. Oh dear God, this is terrible. Like I say, it could be a short stream this week. Alright, so we need to find... No, I'm just going to use the car as storage, let's be fair. There it is, the empty gardening spray. And that's what we want. There's another roast panning about there. Yeah. So I've had some quite sleepless nights, coughing and spluttering and snotting, it's not been really pleasant. So what we can do with the cigarettes and the garden spray is we can actually make fill empty gardening spray with that. I think we can make pie dough in it, or we could clean a rag, or what? I could smoke. How is that in any way appropriate? I thought you could. You can. We've done this before. It's not working for some reason. Maybe I need to make it in a different way. Cigarettes put into a garbage bag. No, I don't want to do that. Maybe I can do that. Or maybe they've changed the recipe. I noticed there was an update today, over the last couple of days, and it did actually update the version of my game. So let's have a quick look. Guess it comes under farming, doesn't it? There we go, farming. Seeds. No, maybe I don't have the. Maybe I don't actually have the recipe for it. That's weird. Right, so anyway, this is the... Oh, I can harvest my potatoes, look. There we go. I now have lots of potatoes. 7, to be precise. I was actually going to let them go to seed, but I'll let the next ones go. So we'll put the potatoes in there. You can always add them to a roast, you see, and you can have roast meat with potatoes, and again it increases the overall benefit of the meal, it increases the nutrition, it increases your happiness, all of that comes into play. But in the meantime, I seem to be really suffering from not being able to make this spray up pesticide. Cigarettes and what's it? Oh, it's got cigarettes there. Maybe it's the case of them not into... No? Okay, so let's have a look at this. It's treat problem pest flies. You need insecticide spray. Okay, great. Where is insect? Do I not have the... Is there a farming magazine I haven't read? Some such silliness like that. So spraying with water. Let's put it on the floor. Let's put the cigarettes on the floor. I guess we'll come back to that a bit later. Now I've done this, and I needed cigarettes and I needed things. Let's go and check out my bookshelf. See if there's a farming magazine. I don't think there is. Could always kill them with good cooking. It's not survivalist. It's not going to be any of that. It's not going to be the herbalist. Okay, we'll come back to that, but definitely the pesticide was one of them. Let's have a look. So it's general. Honest, you can make a tinfoil hat. You can make a tinfoil hat out of aluminium. Fantastic. You too could look like a grade A nutter and conspiracy theorist inside Project Zomboid. Right, so it's not under general, at least not that I can see. Survivalist. I don't think it's going to be under survivalist either. I would have thought it would be under farming, but that doesn't look like it's under there. That just looks like planting seeds and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm not sure where that's gone. You might have to check that out, and we'll treat it next week. Right, okay, so let's get down with foraging. Maybe I need a bucket of water. Let's pick up the cigarettes. It might simply be a case of I'm just going about it the wrong way. Grab a bucket of water. Now this has to be fresh water. And that's not having any of it, is it? I really don't understand what's going on at the moment. That's just weird. Yeah, so I haven't played Subnautica Sub-Zero at all. So, I'm going to eat half of my thing and then we'll do some foraging. Right, okay. So, foraging. Foraging used to be a case of you would right-click the ground, it would give you the option to forage, your character would go over the forage, you'd go over there, the character would go to that spot and then they would effectively scavenge the area for something that you've specified, or you've said, I want this sort of thing. Doesn't work like that anymore. Introduced in, I think it was build 1.42. And you use this investigate area. Now, this window is important. It actually tells you the kind of area you're in. Foraging was never that useful in urban areas. It now is useful in urban areas. But the problem with actually doing this, when you actually enable search mode, the whole area around you blurs out and you've got like a smaller circle around you, which is a little bit, you can see this area is nice and clear, and around you it's all fuzzy. Now in the dark at night, because you now have to walk around to find things, you're more likely to bump into zombies, and therefore you're more likely to end up in a fight with a large crowd. So now whilst we're doing this, if you hover your mouse over it, actually tells you the type of things you'll find. So it says we're in a road, which is appropriate, and it says we'll find lots of stones, trash, but we won't find other things like wood and insects and animals or berries. It's extremely rare. Now as we move around, you can see it's now changed to urban area, and it says trash is now common and other and food is common. And as you can see, it says we've found something, and you've got the eye above our head, and it says look, you found some twigs, and we can pick them up, and for that we get experience. There we go. And so now your more twigs, more experience. So the more you find, the more you gain experience, the better, the quicker you gain levels. But obviously this is one of the primary sources of getting food, and I'm not actually getting any because I think it's winter. Mushrooms are more common after a rainstorm, but I think berries only turn up in spring and summer, which is why I'm only really finding wood and stones and generalised stuff. But if this window comes up with some question marks in it, you're not going to find anything. Now you can improve your finding abilities If you check out this eye icon, it tells you what's having an effect. Now, the weather has effect on you, whether it's dark, and also the mood of your character. Now, you can improve this. Now, if I crouch, it then gives me a +10. Now, if I aim with my mouse, see, like you were going to attack something, I just hover that over. It now gives us a +33. So it's the problem with that though is it's a very, very slow. So I generally just go with the crouch and get that +10. Right. So we've now gone from an urban area to a forest, and it says firewood is common, wood is common, berries, food is rare, berries are rare, stones are rare, mushrooms are rare. Now that will change if it rains. It will change if it rains. Mushrooms will become common. And now it's changed again into vegetation. It now says animals and food are common, and firewood is common. This is also where look, one of our traps is sprung. This is where I've got my traps as well. Okay, so here we've found a stone. Chip stones and tree branches you can turn into spears, which help your carpentry. I'm not particularly interested at the moment, but let's check the trap out, and we should find that we've got a dead bird, which we can then butcher. So that's improved my trapping. It's also improved my survival skills overall. So cooking will be more useful. We found something else, and we found more twigs. Of course, we use those to light fires. It's doing really well today. Oh, we found some nails. Now this is part of what would be described as the trash, I guess. So trash, extremely rare. So we found some extremely rare nails. Well, box traps I don't think had anything in them. Logs. We'll actually pick up the logs, and then we're just going to drop them, because they'll just stay there then. Because if we discard them, then they're gone. But logs can be useful. You can turn them into planks with a saw, and you can then, with the legendary nails that I've just found, +1 to carpentry. No, they don't. Let's start putting it. Right, so here's a tree branch. So tree branch and chipstones make spears. But if you've also got stones, you can make axes, and you can also make knives and that sort of thing. So they're very basic level tools. But tree branches are also very useful for putting in the barbecue, for creating fires and keeping fires fueled. And I actually got 18 experience for that, whereas the twigs they've only given me 9. But this is how foraging works. Now, recently, not that long ago, they added this search focus. I don't think that's actually working, to be fair. I guess it's a case of we'll have to wait and see when summer turns up. Now, it is New Year's Day. I just remembered, it is New Year's Day in game, so Happy New Year. So yeah, right. So this is what's going on. Yeah, well, I do have a spray bottle. I have the insecticide spray bottle, and it always used to be a case of insecticide spray and cigarettes. Now, I always thought it would be, because like previously you'd be able to find things like poisonous mushrooms, that kind of thing. But we actually did this in this playthrough with the previous characters that are down by Rosewood. Because that was another one where I had to go out, find the spray bottle, and I was really short of the cigarettes. I think I had the spray bottle anyway, it was the cigarettes I was looking for. But right, so that's enough of that's enough of the foraging, but that's how it's done. Okay, get a drink because my character's thirsty. Getting towards the end of the day, so I've finished off my roast. So I've got a small bird, I could create another one. So what I can do, I'm going to put the fresh bird in there. I'm going to take the rodent meat. I'm going to take the potatoes. And so what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to create a roast from the rodent meat. There we go. That should use, oh, okay, it doesn't use all of it. but then I can also add the random vegetables, which would be the potatoes. So we now have a meal that will give me a minus hunger of 33, minus thirst of -7, and minus unhappiness of 10. So that's really good. Now we can continue to add that with salt and pepper, but I don't think we need to. And you could add more meat to it. You could add more vegetables to it if you have other vegetables at your disposal. Can you close the door for me, please, Emily? Thank you. And so we will add fuel. So we add the tree branches that we found, and that provides fuel for the barbecue. Now I could, because I've got a generator, you can see it down here, turn on the generator on and use the oven and cooker in my house, but again that uses fuel, that uses petrol, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's just it. I don't think I have the relevant recipe for it. I think that's the problem. Now, why can't I light it? What's happened to my lighter? Has my lighter brought the farm? Did I lose my lighter? Okay. Add twigs to the floor. I've either put my lighter down somewhere, or it's come to its end. Excuse me. Oh, my throat is so sore. Okay, looks like my lighter's died. So we'll just go find another one, because I have found lots of lighters. Says Ian. Oh, I've got a cockroach. I can do some fishing a bit later. Not that fishing seems to work at the moment. I still haven't found a welding mask. I've got lots of twigs and tree branches in there as well. Right, so grab the lighter. There we go. So now I've got that. I think there's some in the garage as well. We can light the barbecue, and we need at least one twig. So I light the fire with twigs and the lighter. There we go. And whilst that's cooking, I can quickly go grab a drink. Drink. There. Can't see the wood for the trees at the minute. I really can't. That's been the story of my life this week. Meds for my children, and now it's meds for me. Like I say, paracetamol never seems to help me at all, and the low strength ibuprofen just doesn't seem to touch my colds at all. I do seem a little bit less snotty today. Maybe that's because I was doing gardening this morning, and like I say, that helped me sweat it out. And yeah, so this should be produce quite a good meal for us, really. Dangerous, uncooked. Yeah, sounds like me this morning. I'm dangerously uncooked. Oh. Yeah, it's going to be an easy short playthrough. So what we'll do is we'll grab that cockroach and we'll actually do two different types of fishing. Now normally I only demonstrate one, but it's never really got me very far at the minute. So it's one of those things, it's like I never seem to catch anything. But despite that, I've actually managed to level my fishing at least once, just by stabbing at the water. It's fantastic. I'm not entirely sure if it's levelling up my spear at all either. Let's wait for this to cook, which won't take very long. So if you are watching the stream, don't forget to say hi on the chat, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Project Zomboid map that I use is in a link in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out Facebook and Twitter. I did put on I actually won a game in Warzone in Battle Royale doing Operation Monarch. I've completed Operation Monarch. Oh right, you can see the water barrels. It hasn't rained for a while, so my barrel is looking a little bit empty. What was I going to do? Fishing. Let's grab that cockroach. Why is all of that? Oh dear. God, what a pain. Broccoli seeds, cigarettes. What's there? Cockroach, uncooked. I should hope so as well. Now, insects you find whilst doing foraging, that kind of thing. Why is everything expanded like that? That's just weird. Okay, so we've just got the one cockroach there. It's enough to demonstrate. Oh, right, there's the pipe wrench that I was talking about earlier. Oh, there's another cockroach. We'll have one of those. Two cockroaches. Oh, there's my lighters, look. Nails. Oh my god, I don't want to see 52 nails. So grasshoppers, cockroaches, and that sort of thing. Any insects you can use as bait. I think that's all I'm going to get. Right, so fishing. Oh, that wasn't good. Let's go do some fishing at 6 o'clock in the evening. That's always good. Yes, I did raid gas stations for my lighters previously. It's the best place to find them. Right, so in the back of this truck, I actually have some fishing gear. So I have a fishing rod or two. Let's take that one. I could use fishing tackle. I probably won't need the fishing line. I've got the bait. And I now have options. Now I have options because I have the fishing rod and I have some bait. So when I click on the water and I go for the option of fishing, it brings up the window. Because I also have a spear in my inventory, I can actually try spear fishing, and that's what I've been doing up till now. I'm going to change this so it goes into my backpack, and I'll actually go fishing rod, and it's going to choose the cockroaches as the bait. Now it says there's an abundance of fishing here, but again, I think because it's winter, I'm not getting anything for the same reason that I'm not finding berries or mushrooms or food whilst I'm doing foraging. Right, so this is a good opportunity to take a look at the skills. It's, I don't think that bandage is particularly worrying. So, skills, there we go. Alright, so my fishing. So it's going up here slowly. I've got fishing level 1. I've got the XP from reading the level 1 fishing book, just like I have from the trapping. Gives me a multiplier of 3, and this is my foraging. I've obviously been doing a lot more foraging. So the skills of my character are building up. Oh look, my strength has gone up. Fitness, I already ought to do fitness, and it's one of those ones where last week we saw that the having done some 10 minutes of burpees, my character was suffering from pains from the exercise, basically. Oh, I caught something. I actually caught something. Look at that. I caught a small bass. And I just noticed that went down one. Look, it says there, Small bass. 33 centimetres. Yeah, so I do have a couple of mods on my playthrough. Nothing heavy. I use book collection to organise the books into levels 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that you know which books you've got and which books you don't. And I also have the katana mod, which doesn't seem to work at all. And I have the I think it's called the Survive Bushcraft Weapons. That's it. But that doesn't. Though that is working, I know that that's on and it's working because in my previous characters I actually found the Viking axe. And the only reason I found the Viking axe was because it was sticking out for zombie. I killed the zombie, took the axe. It was really good. It's a really good weapon. But I haven't seen any of the others. So they are rare finds, it has to be said. But that must have given me a reasonable amount of level on my... Only gave me 2 points. Ah, right. Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that mod where you read the books and level up by reading the books. Now, I've actually got, if you take a look at my information, I've got quite a few traits. And some of these traits are negative, so I could take more positives, and that's all part of the character creation. So the positives are outdoorsman. I always go with outdoorsman. I always go with inconspicuous. But I also took up wakeful, light eater, thick-skinned, and then I had to take some negatives. So I took hard of hearing, slow reader, and out of shape. Right, okay, so we've actually lost our bait. I don't think we gained any. We did find a small sea bass. So what we can try is doing spear fishing. It's the same process, except you use a spear instead of a fishing rod, and a character will just stand there stabbing at the water. Doesn't seem particularly effective, to be fair. And as it's 8 o'clock at night, we'll give up on that one. Let's close the window. We actually got a fish from a couple of cockroaches. This is good. Let's close that window. Let's get rid of the fishing rod. The fishing rod can go in the back of the car. That's where I keep all my fishing gear. Let's equip my trusty crowbar, because I am Gordon Freeman after all. And we have survived New Year's Day, I think. It's getting dark. But the winter solstice has been and gone, so the night should start getting lighter again. In game, all of that does have an effect. So let's eat half of our meal. That will help take off our hunger, a little bit of thirst. We can drink from our tap. Now, this was what was weird about doing the exercise. The character actually takes off the backpack, which was quite odd, to do the burpees. So what we'll do is we will put the roast band in there. Duct tape can go on the floor over there, I think. But what we'll do is we'll actually put, if we unequip hiking bag and then just put it on the floor like so, and we will do some exercise. Let's get rid of this bandage, because I suspect that's actually gone as a wound, yeah. And we'll do some burpees for 10 minutes. Okay. You can see the character's doing some burpees, and then tomorrow they will feel that fatigue on their limbs. Now, it means I'm not going to go anywhere or do anything. So it sounds like my general life at the moment is like... Oh, dear guys. Bloody terrible nose. Oh, dear. So, there we go. That was nice and easy. It's just warming up by looking at it. Right, so if we equip on back, there we go. Should find that my bum bag or fanny pack has also gone down. Right, so now we'll go and get some sleep. Another day survived. And so it's now January the 1st. It'll be January the 2nd when I wake up. But like, hopefully I'll oh god, I've woken up at 20 past midnight. Well, at this point I'm taking some sleeping tablets. Overly excited, obviously. Why are they all extended like that? That's wrong. So you're wondering why I have bourbon in amongst all of my medical stuff. The reason for that is the bourbon you use on rags and things like that, like you would use disinfectant, and that will sterilise bandages and make them effectively like alcohol wipes. And they will help fight infection if you get an infected wound. So that's what bourbon's use. So it's always useful picking up bourbon. You could drink it, but I usually find it more useful as a disinfectant, basically. Now I was going to take the sleeping tablets. Take pills. There we go. Sleeping tablets. And hopefully the character will start feeling sleepy again and actually get a good night's sleep. Get rid of this anxious and on edge. Yes, they always get me. It's usually when I'm walking through a house, I open a cupboard door, and it's like, typically it's like either the bathroom or it's some misc cupboard. You open a cupboard, there's a zombie in there. You open the bathroom, there's several zombies in there. That sort of thing just, you know, it just gets your heart pumping. It really does. Right, let's drop off this duct tape. Let's see what we've got in my backpack. Ah, the small sea bass. Put that in our cool box. There we go. Why is everything expanded like that? That's just wrong. So I've actually got quite a lot of food here. We've got some fresh rodent meat, some fresh fish, and some fresh bird. Nice. I can officially afford to eat half of my rodent potato roast. This is good. Yeah. It is more common. A lot more common. I still can't remember that name of that game that I was streaming a while ago that I haven't finished yet. It's the one with the guy, the biker. I came across it. Days Gone. That was it. Days Gone. There's a lot more like that. But again, the only time you get a jump scare in that is if you actually accidentally jump into a horde. That's the only time you actually sort of like get a jump scare. It's like, oh god! Which I've done a few times. Or they manage to wrangle you off the bike by jumping on top of you. It's like... Oh, hello. Carrots. I can harvest the carrots, but I actually want... Yeah, I am going to harvest those carrots. Because I was going to let those ones go to seed. Everything else is growing nicely. Right, so carrots. Interesting. Because with carrots, of course, I've pressed something to make all of that expand, haven't I? Because it's happening everywhere. So what we'll do is we will dig a furrow there. So I've got a shovel in my hands. I'll do that there as well. Hopefully we might get a worm out of it. Yep, we have. So we can bait our bird traps, and we can also now bait our our other traps as well. So this is our trapping. So trapping, basically hunter magazines. Read the hunter magazines to get the blueprints for the traps, but the best traps you can get are the stick traps and the box traps. Now your traps have to be placed a decent distance away from where your base is, so that they're not going to get disturbed. Both of my box traps have been nobbled. Look. Yeah, both of them have been damaged, so something's broken out of them. So what we'll do, we'll bait this with the worm. So stick traps are for birds. So you bait it with worms. And we need to make a couple of box traps. So I'm going to grab this log. I'm going to turn it into planks. Saw log. Gives me 3 planks. Going to put them in my backpack so they don't weigh me down. I'm going to go make some box traps. And we're going to come back and place our box traps and then bait them. Now all of this adds to my trapping abilities. The trapping skill isn't amazing, but it is improving. Put the shovel, no, put the shovel in my backpack. It's a problem with pressing Shift and A. Need some nails. I think there's some more planks or some more logs lying around, maybe. Ah, yeah, there we are. Logs. So I'm going to put the planks down. Because I think you need 4 planks. So what we'll do is we'll saw both of those logs. Right, there we go. Let's go get some nails. Which I've got some here, I think. Empty bucket. No, I did have plenty of nails. Saw them recently. Earbuds, wine, glue, trotch, hunting knives, propane torch, a map of Rosewood, scrap electronics, screwdriver, sheet, shovels, sunflower seeds, twine, value text stuff, welding rods, but no nails. Let's try the floor. This is where having an organised inventory space is useful. They're not really in my backpack, are they? No, I've only got a couple in my backpack. So let's check in here. Nails, 52, there we go. Right, so we'll create a couple of traps from the planks. So we're going to make, you can make quite a lot out of wood in the game. So splint. And I'm having make a wooden cage trap. That's the one. Yeah. Makes you need more underwear. That's what it does. A trap crate. That's what we want. I'm going to make 2. Is there actually any water in the bird bath? No. So it's a shame that is, but my character is desperately thirsty. I'm actually running out of water, but it's not the end of the world. I've still got quite a bit, 100 out of 160, so we're not doing too bad. But it hasn't rained recently, so... Right, so what we'll do is we'll take these 2 traps. Run them down to where we keep our traps, and then we'll bait them with carrots. Ah, hello. I've just seen Fatania on the channel. Hey, welcome. Apologies for the poor voice. I've got a stinking cold. I have the leg. That's what I have. I have the leg. Right, so we're going to place a trap here. Place a trap grate just there. Just there, and then we're going to place another one just there, and then we bait them with carrots, and hopefully, as we have before, we will successfully trap ourselves some rabbit. The wascally wabbits. Add carrots fresh. Add carrot fresh. There we go. That's got bait in it, and we're waiting for... I haven't got bait on the other one. Right, so we have some traps, we have some food. Oh no, we don't, we need to create some. So we use our roast pan. Right, so whilst we're here, we'll do some mechanics as well, some basic mechanics. So at the front of a car, if you press V and go for vehicle mechanics, it brings up a... Oh, yeah, thanks, Joe. Have a good week, mate. I hope to see you next week. Don't forget to say hello to your mum. Be nice to your mum. Mums are lovely. So, from this menu, you can remove and install things. Now, if you've got a very basic level of mechanics, you can't do too much. But what you can do initially is uninstall the lights. The radio and the battery. Now once you've done all of that, if you put them back in, you get the experience of taking them out and then putting them back in. But you can only do that once a day. It's not like you can keep doing it, which is a bit infuriating. And then once you build up your skill a bit more, you can then start more complicated things like, and you only need a screwdriver for that. But that's how you get started on that. But once you get a mechanic skill and you get an electronic skill up, what you get from that is the ability to hotwire cars. So you don't need the key. That makes life quite a bit easier for you if you find a vehicle in decent condition but you cannot find the key anywhere. And I did do this in previous playthroughs, and it's literally a case of you find the car and say, hey, I want to hotwire the car. It gives you the option to do it. Whereas normally it doesn't. It's because you've gained the knowledge to do it. Okay, so I believe we need to take that, take that. Create a roast. So we're going to create a roast from what we've got left in our rodent. Going to add some potatoes, and we can also add carrots. And we can put all of our carrots and that back in the cool box. That'll help keep it fresh for longer. Grab some twigs off the floor. What can we add to the bottom? Dirty rag, rip sheets. So light the fire with twigs. Put our meal on it, and that should actually be quite a good meal. Yeah, so if you are on the chat, don't forget, if you're watching the stream, don't forget to say hi in the chat. And, you know, if you've got any questions, ask questions. If you don't know what you're doing, if you've never played Project Zomboid before, even if you know what you're doing and you've come across something that you don't know how to do, we'll endeavour to help. Right, so, cooking our food. So it's an hour of our gameplay gone. So we've demonstrated fishing. We've actually caught a fish this week. We've demonstrated trapping. We've built some traps. We've found meat in traps. We've butchered some meat. And we've managed to butcher that, create meals from what we've caught. And this is keeping us going through the winter, because foraging, although foraging is really useful during the spring and the summer months, it doesn't seem to be helping us so much at the moment. Because it's like winter, there doesn't seem to be an abundance of berries or mushrooms. So that's not helping us at the moment, but it is, you know, the character isn't particularly low skilled in foraging. They're sort of like around level. Let's just pin that, because that's almost done. I don't want to burn it. If we do that, so the character's, you know, working on foraging level 6, so they're not terrible at it, but they're better than your average. Apologies, I need to blow my nose. So if you just want to talk gaming or chat about gaming in general, please do. You know, I play Warzone. I've been playing Subnautica this week. Do play a bit of Splitgate, and I still play Quake Champions here and there. And I've been playing computer games since I was 6 years old. I'm now 50. That's 44 years of gaming experience. You know, I used to play in the arcades at Western Supermare and or around, because where I lived there was like just Space Invader machines, that kind of thing. So the very basics of computer gaming. It wasn't until I was 12 when the ZX Spectrum became available in homes, and I was lucky enough for my parents to actually buy me one. And I guess that really sort of kick-started my career, because I'm actually a computer programmer by trade. And I've always had an interest in computers. So, yeah, it's... But, yeah, I've played lots of games over the years, arcades, I've had NESes, SNESes. My mates have always had Mega Drives and that sort of thing. Every now and again I'll break out an emulator and play some Amiga games. Right, so where are we? It is officially the 2nd of January. Let's try foraging. Let's try some foraging. Let's see what we get. Let's enable it. So something that I could start looking into. I might do that this week. Is electronics. Is electrical. I need to build up the... Oh, hello, what have we found twigs. we could start looking at electrical stuff. Because I've actually got some glue. Now you might find that, I might say that's a bit weird, but what I want to do is I actually want to try and create a distraction device. And this is like, I think this uses a timer. Which is one of the reasons why when I've been fighting zombies and all the rest of it. Oh look, the stick trap's broke. We've caught a bird. There we go. We're doing really well for food. Hello. It's a berry bush. That's interesting. Pick up winterberry. I've not seen those before. 4 winterberries wild. Are they poisonous? But that gave us plus 45. Right, so check the trap. And we have a dead bird which we're going to butcher. And then it gives us an idea of minus 12 hunger. So that's not going to be too bad. Let's put that in our backpack. We're still foraging. I haven't got any worms to replace it with. Twigs, container. That's the first berry I've found in a while. Now, if we're here, maybe the focus thing will work. If I focus on berries. Are they poisonous though? That's the thing. I don't know. Looks like they could be alright. I've not actually come across them before. The seasonal berries. But this goes back to what I was saying about having a bowl and a knife in your inventory. Or in my case, a bowl and a meat cleaver. Because what you can do is you can create a quick, easy meal. If I go here and I right click the bowl, I can create a fruit salad from random fruits. Eating the berries on itself is fine, because if you take a look at this, winter berries, they will give you a minus hunger and a minus thirst. But by turning them into a salad, it actually gives you a minus 5 unhappiness as well. So previously, what I used to have to do is rely on antidepressants to keep my character happy. But food is your path to happiness in Project Zomboid. And by doing things simple like this, bowl and a knife, creating a salad, that you can add more to that salad. You can add salt and spices and honey and mustard and things like that. And that will increase the amount of hunger that it reduces and the amount of happiness it increases you by. And it just keeps you working, basically. It keeps everything going. So eat that, and then that'll help keep your character full. A bit of luck. If I can find more of those. I mean, that was interesting. I wasn't expecting to find winter berries. Now we found other kind of weird stuff before. More berries. There we go. More winter berries. Well, I'm actually quite pleased. Because we haven't actually been finding them. And then all of a sudden today, it's almost as if the guys at PZ Development have been watching my stream and going, oh, actually, yeah, you should be finding stuff. Or they've recently added it, I don't know. Maybe they was updated. So maybe the update has added something in. Maybe they've realised that people do actually last until winter. I mean, maybe that all figures into the whole idea of what's coming with NPCs and the whole idea of having a community. We've got some stones, chip stones, don't need those. Discard them. You still get experience for discarding things. Actually says food is common, so I actually should find a fair bit. Now I've found 8 berries. Today I've used one to create a salad, but that's enough to keep you going for a good couple of days. That's really good. Plus we've got our roast, we've got our meat. We can always add the berries to our meat and create, increase the nutritional value and the happiness values and the thirst values of our meal, of our roasts, and that's just really good. different, that's for sure. Well, unexpected, let's put it that way. Let's see if we can... Berries for days. Yes, good morning, Fatna. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't need the twigs. If you've got any questions, don't forget to ask. You know, if you just want to chat about games in general, or how well you're doing in games. Yeah, it is a good sign. The fact that I wasn't actually finding any berries at all previously to this. Oh, discard the tree branch. Oh, actually, I should have picked those up. I'm not particularly worried. Finding tree branches and things like that. I've got plenty around. Just going back and forth. See if I can find some more winter berries, or just berries in it. I've set the focus to berries, which is why I might not be finding anything. I think that's all we're going to get at the minute. We'll come out and check tomorrow. I will try and pronounce that correctly in the future. I will do my best. I am terrible with pronouncing names and things like that. It's all good, so... Stones, don't need stones. Actually, what we're in forest now, food is rare, so I think that's the best we're going to get out of it today, which is good. Which is good. Let's not be shy here. That's actually a good result. Actually picking up winter berries, and hopefully that'll be a more common thing over the next few months. That'll help feed my character. Because that is the main goal in the world of Project Zomboid, is having the skills to survive. And it has been more difficult, it has to be said, because this character started off, 3 or 4 months after an initial playthrough, at a point where my other character had pretty much been through some of the places where my character goes, like West Point, and pillaged everything basically. So finding some stuff has been difficult. Let's not beat around the bush with that one. But yeah, so it's been good. It's been difficult trying. The Scooby fan, yeah. Yeah, that was the Xmas Day, Boxing Day massacre video I did a few weeks ago. It was like, yeah. So, long story short, got trapped in a van. I actually laid this out at the start of the video, if you want to know. But my van broke down, was quickly surrounded by a horde, and I had to get out because it was absolutely gone. Took a couple of bites to the neck and the legs, dropped my crowbar in as a result because I got dragged to the ground. Managed to hobble off to a distance, get myself bandaged up. I was very, very low on health. You want to go out now, do you, Belle? And then walked around some trees to lose the zombies. Just a second. Make your mind up, Bella. In or out, not one or the other. She'll be back in a minute. I swear. It was a very, very tense, close run bit of thing. Some of the most exciting gameplay I've had in some time in Project Zomboid. Usually those sort of like predicaments end up in death. I actually managed to survive, but in my panic to get away, I wanted to equip my spear and ended up telling the character to just drop it. And he's like, what? So yeah, it was a bit of a fiasco as well, to be fair. But it was fun, it was exciting, it was everything you want from gameplay. But yeah, I lost my Scooby van. Let's just go to the map. So I drove down to West Point, looted a load of gear, put it in my van. My van's currently sitting around this area here. And I got out, I managed to sort of walk around these trees to lose the zombies. And the zombies in-game, for a quick explanation, use line of sight, LOS. So they will go to the place where they last saw you. So by using the trees to block view, or even if it's like a house or something like that, if you run through the front door of a house, shut the door so they have to sort of beat against the door to get through it, and then you go into another room, open the window, hop out the window, and then just leave. They will go to the last place where they saw you, which was the door of the bedroom that you or room that you walked into, but then you hopped out the window and they've lost you. Now, the other thing about zombies in Project Zomboid is if you're walking, you will outpace them. And provided you're not over encumbered, you will be able to continue outwalking them as well. So you can just walk and be free. It's when you panic, it's when you try and run, it's when you try and fight quite a lot that you end up losing, basically. But it's a case of sometimes you just get caught short. So the van was stuck here. I managed to lose them there, and I set up shop in this house just here. Stayed in there a night, and I actually found the car that's currently sitting outside my house. It's actually parked in this drive over here with the key in the glove box, which was an absolute result because I had petrol can with me. I deliberately took a petrol can out of the back of the van. So I tanked that up, and then I transferred everything to this car, and then managed to get back home. but that was the fun and games that we had a few weeks ago. So, where are we? What's the state of play with us at the moment? Right, so we have water. So as you can see here, if I just zoom in, you can see my water barrels here. I think only one of those is connected. I think it's that one to the sink. One of my plans is to get the welding mask because I need the propane and welding mask. I'm going to take the sink out of one of the other houses and then put it next to the other sink. So I then have two sinks plumbed in and two lots of water. So I have plenty of water for my character, but it hasn't rained for a long time. But it will collect rain from snow and obviously rain. So yeah. Yes, yeah. It's like you were there. Trollmain was there as well, and it's like it was really, really, really. Oh my god, my character's gonna die after all the work that I've put into it. It's like no. But yeah. So anyway, I was talking about NPCs and communities. Now, at some point, what the guys at Project Zomboid have said is, the multiplayer stuff which came out before Christmas affected the release date of NPCs. Now, NPCs are basically characters that are survivors, that are like you, but obviously controlled by the computer. And you will come across them. And the way that they actually explained this was that you may come across a survivor who is distrustful of other people because they were part of a community previously, and one of the other members of the community got their wife killed. So they left that community and they're now very distrustful of people. There might be other backstories, and these characters, they have their own backstories that are playing out whilst not on screen. And I have seen video of them having X number of players all driving around in cars around the map. So that was pretty interesting. But that's coming. So NPCs and communities. And the idea of the community is you will be able to start the game years after the zombie apocalypse event. So but the multiplayer stuff affected all of that. So that was a bit of a shame, really, I suppose. Right, so let's dig a furrow or two. Let's get some worms. Let's see if we can get some worms. And then we can bait our stick traps. I haven't had much luck doing this previously. Yes, it means that you can shoot NPCs. Quite likely they're going to shoot you as well. I've played the mod Super Survivors before and come across what was it? I think I had other mods on it like gun mods and that sort of thing, because I'm pretty sure I got shot with an Uzi. Now that makes life a little bit more interesting from a perspective of, hey Vulcan, it's been a while. Hope you're glad you're all right, mate. Good to see you. But that's when you have the need of other medical things like tweezers, because in order to patch yourself up, you need to remove the bullet first, and to do that, you use the tweezers. So yeah, that's something that you need to take into account, I guess, when NPCs come in. Because other than that, tweezers have no use whatsoever. But you might get some more interesting wounds. But you might actually have a use for guns as well now. Because I'm doing well for worms. I can always use worms as bait. Yeah, nice to see you again, Vulcan. And I'm from Sussex. Hello. Fantastic. Nice to see some people on the chat. If you've got any questions, don't forget to say hi. So, I'm currently digging for worms. I'm doing alright, actually. I've got 4. Good grief. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go bait my traps. No, don't double click it. For goodness sakes. This is what happens if you try to do things fast. Oh, good man. Louisville, how are you finding it? When Louisville was introduced, I went over there on my easy mode playthrough, and one of the things that I did find, let's see, it's not that, it's add bait, there we go, add bait worm. I bet that one's missing its way. The early bird got the worm on that one. I bet it's hard. The amount of zombies over in Louisville was phenomenal. Like, so if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the project Zomboid, there is actually a map that you can refer to. It's https map.projectzomboid.com. Link in the description below to my videos for the last God knows how many months. Well, and to give you some idea, the map actually stopped here. So that area there, just here, is Louisville, and that was all added. I think it was before Christmas or just after Christmas. Now, this was the biggest area. I think Muldra was. That's the biggest playing area as a town. Now you can fit all of the towns in Louisville, and then there's still more room. There's still extra room, and it's amazing. Yeah, we took a look around. We went through the barriers. We took a look around the tents that are here. There was lots of military camo equipment, that kind of thing, helmets, that sort of thing. An apartment in front of the expo building. All right, okay. So we came up here. We came up the back here through the distilleries. We raided the nightclub. This one, the Glow nightclub. So is it sort of like up here, is it? The expo center, big warehouse, station, Jim's auto stop. Not seeing anything there. I mean, it is such a huge place. Now, we ended up sort of like having a look around some of the houses down here, I think. There's the stadium. Oh, there's a hospital. That might be worth a nose. Alright, so is it at this north end? Is it, or this end? No. Hit vids. See, that's another thing that's kind of come back into the game as well. In that, to entertain your character, actually, I don't know if this actually counts as training material as well. It's a gun shop. Is that you can actually, if you have TVs that have a video recorder in them, you can actually play and watch videos. Boxing gym, high school, groceries. There's so much to look at. Shady Oaks Nursing Home. That'd be interesting to see whether you get zombies on Zimmer frames. That'd be quite. Oh look, there's a music concert there. Look. Outdoor concerts. There we go. I didn't even see that when I looked at this previously. Junkyard. You store it. It's the mall. But Louisville is huge. But yeah, I mean, I imagine you could sort of like spend your life moving from one house to the next house to the next house to the next house on a daily basis and never run out of food. And just basically live off of that for years and years and years and years. Or, one of the things that I did actually mention previously is you've got this sort of forest area here, is you could perhaps make a base camp out of this. Near the water, plenty of wood, fishing opportunities, boiling water off in kettles and things like that to give yourself fresh water. And like I say, I mean, you might find there's some decent foraging in that area as well. Yeah, I imagine there is. Like I say, I mean, you exhaust your food supplies in one house and then just move to the next one next door. And just keep if you wanted to, you could just create one house as a base camp and then strike out from there, and once you feel that you've picked that area clean, just move off to the next one. Move off to the next street. There's so much you can do. It's one of those things that I think, well, maybe we'll do that at some point. We'll try and make our way into Louisville as a fresh playthrough. Because what I actually want to do is, because like I'm on the beta branches, at the minute, what I want to do is actually get onto the main branch, so that I'm not sort of like ahead of the curve, if you see what I mean. But yeah, so Louisville is absolutely massive. It's well worth diving over there. As Vulcan says, it's hard but rewarding. So if the nearest place that you will start, because I don't think they've actually added any started places near Louisville at the minute. The nearest place is obviously West Point, which is a hard place to start in the first place. And to get through this blockade over here, so you've got a blockade here, and you've got a blockade over here as well, and getting through those, the best thing to do is take a sledgehammer if you can find one. I haven't found one yet, because one of my plans, excuse me just a second, stinking cold, is that one of the best ways to actually make a house zombie proof, whether this will stay a thing or not, is to actually, if you find a sledgehammer, is you create sheet rope, throw it out of a window so that you can get in and out of the second floor, but once you can do that, you actually take the sledgehammer and you take out the stairs. So the zombies can't get up the stairs because they also can't climb sheep ropes. So it's a case of whether it's a case you have to shut the window or not. I don't know, but yeah, that's the thing. So there we are. That's the map. It's very useful. It's the entire play area of Project Zomboid. So you can take a good look at Moldra. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this is down here. It looks kind of like a student. Yeah, it's the dormitories, community centres. This kind of reminds me of student college, that sort of thing. There's a church. I imagine that's going to be rife with zombies. It's a small town. Area. March Ridge. Again, not sure. Right, so a sheep rope. Sheep ropes are quite interesting. Actually, look, I'll demonstrate it for you. Okay. So if we go, you need a nail, you need a hammer, you need some sheep ropes. Now, if you need to put a sheep rope out of a second-story window, you actually need 2 sheep ropes. Yeah. So yes, Donny kebabs or kibitz. At least I think I got that right. So yeah, so the sheep rope. So if you're on your however many floors you're up is however many floors of sheep ropes you need. So hopefully I've got enough. So if we take this window here, for instance, I think if you shut the window, that prevents them from being able to get in. Right, so let's go with here. Let's do this. Ignore the cooler. Dirty rags. Sheep ropes, sheeps, crafted sheeps, 26. Right, so if I grab all of those, maybe I can create something from them. So maybe I need to rip the clothes. Maybe I need to rip clothes to make sheep ropes. Clean rags. Okay. Right, so let's see if we can find some clothes to rip up. I think I've got some upstairs. Right, so if we go craft a sheep rope. So if I craft one of those, and then I use the craft sheep rope there. So I've actually got 2 sheep ropes. So 2 sheep ropes. Got a hammer, got a nail. And that's a storage cupboard. Where's the door for this place? Oh, there it is. Alright, so we then go in here. Open the window. And then you go right click and you add escape rope fabric. There it is. And that's how you create a sheep rope. And then if you close the window, I don't think they can get in. And you can always remove it when you're inside and then add it. But I think every time you do that, you lose a nail. So you close the window, no one can get in. Or if you open the window, and then you can climb through. There we go. I actually thought it was going to jump out then. Or if you press E, though, climbs back in. There we go, sheep rope. Sheep rope sorted, and then you just close the window and then nothing can get in beyond you. Cool, isn't it? And it is one of those things that's quite exhausting. So I'm going to take a drink. I think I can still drink out of this. Again. Despite the fact that the water went off a long time ago, taps still contain water. Yeah, so you need 1 sheep rope per level. So if you're on the 2nd level, on like the 1st floor, you need 2. If you're on the 3rd floor, or the 2 levels up, you need 3. So you need the one for the level you're on, and the one for the levels below you. And that's how it works. It's not a case of if you've got 1 sheep rope, it reaches the floor. It doesn't work like that. But that's how it works. I think it catches a lot of people out because you tend to think of a rope as being a specific length or as long as you need it to be. Really, if you see what I mean. But yeah, that's the thing. That's how it works. Oh, I need to put my bird in here in my cool box, along with my other food that I'm trying to keep fresh. But yeah, so that's sheet rope. So that's a very good a good one. Donnie. Sorry, there's my daughter just interceding into the proceedings. So yeah, but that's how you use it. So you need a hammer, you need a nail, you need a sheet rope for every level that you are up. Obviously, you don't need one on the ground floor, but if you're on the first floor, you need two. So that's an interesting one. If you are on a roof, and I've seen this used before, you can actually, with carpentry, create yourself a window. You create yourself a window. You can go, if you've got enough planks and you've got carpentry, you create basically a wall, a wooden frame, and then when you create the wooden frame, you get the option to put a window in it. So you create the window, even though you're on a roof that's flat, got no windows on it, to put a sheet rope through. You create one of those, and then you put sheet rope from that. So it's usually the sort of thing that you have when you're in urban areas and your base is like a factory with a flat roof. When zombies, because this doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. The stinking cold from Hades. When you're trying to survive in urban areas, one of the things that they used to do, and I don't think this is a thing anymore, it certainly hasn't happened for a long time, is that at night a horde used to just descend on your house, which was really unfair. I think they removed that from what Supertone was telling me a while ago. Yeah, and it's not the easiest to find. You might be better off finding it in a gas station. And I've found some really interesting ones. Bookstores might not be your best bet for that sort of thing. A gas station with a bookcase with a magazine rack might be your best bet. Oh, hi Bella, come back to room. My green see my green screen just gone. Hey Belle, good dog. Go on, settle down. So yeah, so that's probably your best bet. Don't look in bookstores. There it is. Oh, green screen's gone again. Oh, that one, that's fine. What are you doing? So yeah, magazine racks in gas stations. Try that. Where are you? Yeah, I think I am. I'm on a beta branch, which is ahead of the main branch. So yeah, it updated today, or updated this week, and it did a big update to my save. So there's all sorts of weird things going on outside my study, and my daughters are flitting around doing things. So yeah. Anyway, that is where we are. So we've actually done quite a lot this week. We've actually done really well. We actually found, through foraging, we actually found some berries again. Berries have started turning up, winter berries. So, quickly run through that. If you have a bowl and a knife, or in my case a meat cleaver, if you have a bowl and a knife in your inventory, so an empty bowl, right click you with the berries, you can create a fruit salad, and the fruit salad will help feed you and also help keep you happy as well. For cooking is, as I've said several times during this run through, is your path to happiness. It will keep your character happy and non-moody and non-miserable, so it's really useful to be able to do that. So cooking decent hot meals as well, like roasts, so using a roast pan or a frying pan or anything that you can get your hands off that will help you cook meat or just anything is also useful. So don't forget to cook your canned food. You can add canned food to a roasting pan to create a roast, improving the value of the meal. We created some traps, some box traps. We've baited them. We've also baited our stick traps. We've got food from a mouse trap. We've got a dead rabbit. Yes, the boredom. It's one of those things that I always used to, and using cooking gets rid of all of that. I always used to have to do is rely on antidepressants to help get rid of the character's boredom and depression. But then, so where was I? So cooking keeps you happy. We did some basic mechanics for which you only need a screwdriver. You can take out a few items from the car, like the light bulbs, the battery and the radio, and then you put them back in. That gives you some experience. I'll just briefly talk about the other parts of carpentry that I've done. So as you can see up here, I've got some water barrels. So you need 4 bags, 4 garbage bags, so they're worth keeping. And you can see through the window there's my sink. So in the 8 squares around the sink, if you put a rain catcher barrel, and then if you have the pipe wrench, you can then plumb that sink in to that rain catcher barrel. Now, when it rains, that catches the water. Now, the water is tainted, but when you actually take it out of the tap, it is clean. So you end up with a clean source of water. We've demonstrated for Donnie the sheet rope and how to attach and how many you need. We've been through that. We've done foraging. We actually caught something fishing this week. We've been doing some gardening. We actually failed on the pesticide, which is really annoying. For that, we have done this before in a previous playthrough. So you can see my character's getting hungry. So if we do bowl, create from random fruits, you can see that this actually gives you a minus hunger. It's not affecting my first, but it's giving me a minus unhappiness. So let's just eat that in its entirety. Yeah, I've come across some pretty deep groups in this playthrough as well. Even though I haven't changed the settings, the settings are vanilla. But it's a case of it's very weird how they seem to be packing against each other. That seems to be a thing that's happened in the last few versions, I think. It's never really been a problem previously. Now I'm coming across large packs of them. Which is odd, I think. So I don't know what they've done. But yeah, I haven't played with the settings on this game at all. I do have another playthrough which is on basically is easy mode. What I'll do is actually, if I end that bit there, haven't played this one. This one's a different playthrough. It's on the sandbox. It's more prevalent on this one, has to be said. So in this one, the character is tough as nails, strong, fit. And again, this is, you can see, I don't know whether you can see it, but down here what it's doing is it's doing a counter. And it's going through converting world to new version. This could take some time during the first load. Or it might just fall over. No, that's stalled. Carry on. Bella's going off on one. I'm going to shut the door. Right, so, a bit of luck. Oh, there we go. That looks like it's a good conversion. Now, this character is in Louisville. As you can see, dressed up in camo gear that I pilfered. But if you take a look at the character itself, the skills of this character are just insane. So you're going to go, how did you manage to do that? Well, it's because some of the settings that I fiddled with was the XP bonus. I put the XP bonus up to 1,000, so they just have to walk a couple of feet, and they're instantly the most nimble person that you've ever come across. The zombies are weak, the character's strong, and I can just wade my way through zombies after zombies after zombies after zombies, and it doesn't matter. And as you can see, they've got a machete as well as a weapon. It's the only time I've seen a machete. But this is one of the playthroughs that I've got where I used to demonstrate stuff. So when Foraging changed, when Foraging changed, it was this character that I used to do foraging in urban areas because it was the only character that I had in an urban area. All my other characters were out in the sticks. And that's because I'd basically done a playthrough in Louisville. So the other thing is you can see these cars, they're in absolute pristine condition. So if we take a look at the vehicle mechanics here. This car, never touched it, never seen it. It's pretty much in tip-top condition. And if you get into the driver's side, I think that's the right side. Or maybe not. Let's get into the driver's side. There we go. It says there's no key. So if we look in the glove box, oh look, there's the key for it. And you can see there's loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff. So all of the loot is like abundant. So it's to be fair, it is the best way to teach yourself how to play the game by doing this. One of the things that I always say, if you're new to Project Zomboid, you've never played Project Zomboid before, don't dive in at survival because it is harsh. It is really harsh. Go for Builder, which is my other playthrough, the one that I've just come off, or create yourself this sandbox mode. If we just wander into this house just here, they won't have any alarms on. Houses have never got alarms. That's another thing. You've got loads of plates, loads of canned food, look. Chips, God knows what. Everything you could possibly want. Oh, look, you're back, are you, Bella? Oh, you brought Jet as well. Hello, Jetty. Hello, mate. The electricity doesn't go off for months and months and months and months. Neither does the water. It is just proper easy mode. The books are full of all of the bits and pieces that you could ever want. It's just ridiculous. But it's, like I say, it's just there for demo purposes, really. What on earth is going on out there? Okay, we see we've got lots of cars. This looks like a fire station, so let's have a look at this one. I've actually got the key to that one. And well, dash builder driver key. This car has no key, so you take the key out of there, and there you have the key. And it probably has a full tank as well. I'm actually trying to find a horde as well. That's the thing. I haven't found one yet. But whilst we're in Louisville, so if that's the here we go. Look, unfriendlies. Let's dive in through the front, or not. Oh, okay, all right, fine. Right, so there's at least 8 or 9. Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was a horde of 11. Like I say, it's easy. You just walk straight through them. And that's not all of them that are in this area either. That's the glory of setting yourself up on easy mode. Machetes, they're just great. joy of Louisville. You can see, look at the shelves are absolutely rammed with stuff. Look at it. And it's like, there's everything you could possibly want on the shelves. What's that character got? A bread knife. So yeah, so gives you a false sense of security, I guess, but at the same time it's a lot of fun to play like this. But yeah, going back to the point is that there does seem, I mean, this is, even though this is an easy mode, I'm having the same problem in my other playthrough, is that the mob that surrounded my car a couple of weeks ago, if you check out the video that has Xmas Day, Boxing Day massacre, is my car is surrounded by about a pack of 10 zombies. That never used to be the case. They used to have like 4 or 5, but now they seem to have increased that number and they seem to be gathering together a lot more. Oh, it would be easy. Really easy. Well, that's kind of the point. So I'm at a fire station. Right, so let's have a look at the map. Now, I think I'm sort of around this area-ish, he says. And in fact, that's going to be... so I'm not going to find it in this, not in a hurry, that's for sure. But gas stations, definitely, are your best bet. Let's see if I can find one. Let's see if I can find a point of reference. Let's grab one on this car. And we'll go for a quick drive. Because that's definitely... I'm not entirely sure that is a fire station. It looks like a fire station, but no, that's not a fire truck. Let's grab that one. Let's grab the key. There we go. We've now got a key. It's got a full tank. Let's go for a drive. See if we can find a point of reference. So that looks like a residential bit. Oh, hello. It's a dead end. If I go out this way. You can see how many zombies there are around. This looks like... this is the auto shop place that I was looking for. Yeah, so another thing is the zombies are thick. They don't hear very well. Oh, that's a gas and go. Right, so I reckon we're up here somewhere. Maybe around this area here. But that's exactly what we need, a gas and go. Right. Let's get out of the car. Right, so magazine rack. Lots of things, electronics, comic books. Oh, what was that? No, it's not there. There's lots of magazines there, but not the one that you were after. Lots of food though, look. Matches, lighters. But I think that's still your best bet. But yeah. Yes, sorry I didn't see Vulcan saying goodbye. Thank you for joining us and getting on the chat this week, Vulcan. But I'm actually going to end the stream there. So thank you very much to everybody who's been on the stream this week. Thank you to Supertone and Joe and to Donny and to Fasteneur and to Vulcan. And thanks to everybody who has subscribed to my channel this week as well. It's absolutely amazing. I'm really pleased with how well my channel is doing. Things are going really well. So, hope to catch you all next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the Facebook and Twitter feeds, as I post things on there as well on things that I'm doing. So, some of my successes in Warzone this week have ended up on there. But until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great week. And I'll see you then. Until then, bye-bye.